bit of snow, a bit of cold, everything comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go out, it's dangerous, you'll slip over, people having time off work.
Yeah. What would you do, right? If you run a business, right, your business could go under, right? It snows a bit. You got 10 employees. You're paying them well, and they go, "I can't come in today, Carl. A bit icy." I'll do it. Okay. Right. They're snowed in, right? You're running the business. What are you running?
It's a let's not.
Don't-
I'm not
don't
going to
you-
big myself up. It's just it's a
don't you run it-
factory.
but
It's
doesn't it make
U-bends.
bells that knock? Doesn't it?
U-bends.
Yeah.
U-bends for
Toilet. So
yeah.
you run a. Okay. Right. Okay.
plumbing
So
type.
plumbing. You pay them all right, don't you?
I'd say most of them are on above average.
So you're there. What time do you get in?
About 8:45.
8:45, waiting for them to come in at 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. It's snowing. It's a bit snowy. You got there. It took you a bit while. You'd set off early, did you? Or?
Gave myself a bit more time because I had to put the heating on in the car.
Okay. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, KP Plumbing.
Oh, is that Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, who's that?
Oh, it's Sheila. Listen.
Sheila, shouldn't you be here by now?
Yeah, no. I was going to set off.
Well, we'll set off now. Stop wasting time. We've got a big order on.
No, I know.
We're all
but
on a bonus here if we get this done. I'll see you in 10 minutes, shall I?
I can't make it.
What?
I can't make it.
Why not?
The car won't start and it's slippy on the drive. I just can't get out.
Get the transport. I'll see you in. I'll give you 20 minutes. All right? Don't worry about it. Thanks for calling.
I can't,
I'll see you in a bit.
I'm also scared of the ice. I'm scared of the ice. I'm not gonna come in today. It's dangerous.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna wait until the ice and snow goes away, and then I'm gonna come
But
in.
they're predicting it's going to be about 2 weeks before they
Yeah,
clear all this.
I can't really travel in this. It's a bit dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what. You stay at home. I'll replace you because I need someone to come in. We've
What,
got
are
a
you
big order.
firing me because I can't get into work with this?
Well, I got
think-
into work, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but you don't live with me, do you? If you did live with me, then
No, but
you'd probably
it was
see
bad.
how...
It was bad where I was as well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
here.
but do you know how bad it is here? When you come round and have a look how bad it is here,
no,
you drive
I'm
my...
not coming
Tell you
round
what,
here.
you come round and drive my fucking car because I'm snowed in, you fucking calling me a cunt. And I'll tell you, if you fire me, I'll take you to a tribunal, you bald-headed wanker.
Right, you're fired anyway for that.
You're in fucking trouble then.
Right then, see ya. Right, and then
Right.
she's done with. She's weak anyway.
Ring, ring.
KP Plumbing.
Hiya, is that, Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hi, it's Bob here.
Bob.
Yeah, bit of trouble. In my area, it's absolutely snowing. It's impossible. No one's getting out. I live near Sheila.
Bob,
by the way.
listen. Yeah, well, Sheila's just been on. She's saying she can't get in either.
She can't. I've just seen her out there trying to dig her car out, and she's hurt her back. She's really tried hard to get to work, but she can't do it because she's not very rich and her car doesn't work. She hasn't got the right tyres, and there's no public transport. They've cancelled those. Wrong snow on this country. I'm not going to make it in today, son. So I'll see you tomorrow, right, boy?
Well, no, you're saying you'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you'll probably call up tomorrow with the same thing.
Well, only if it's snowing still.
Now
It
listen.
might not-
Well, I can't run a business like this, Bob.
Yeah, it's not my fault, is it? Really?
So go round to Sheila's and like slag me off if you want. But I'll tell you
I'm not
what,
slagging
you're
you
not
off,
coming
just-
back here.
Oh.
Fuck off. One chance. Give them one chance.
Well, you didn't even give him one chance.
No, because they've done it before.
Oh, fucking hell.
Just annoys me.
That picture you were showing me.
Yeah.
I wish we could post one on the website of Carl. Remember we won an award ages ago. What was it called? The British Radio Authority Award.
Yeah.
And we made Carl get in the picture, and he was a bit reticent, but it came nice. But his head is perfectly circular. I put a coin on it, and only the ears popped out from behind the coin. Isn't it perfectly round? Isn't
I
it?
mean, when you've been saying I've got a round head, I was a bit like, yeah, everyone has. Stop having a go.
Yeah.
And then I saw this picture last week. I thought, God, he's right.
Can't we
It is
can't we just pop it on the XOM website?
I'd rather not.
I'll go on. Just get
Steve,
someone.
have you seen that man in a jar without a brain?
Sorry, is that something? Is that a product you can buy? in like Sainsbury's?
Is it a dream you had yesterday?
Man in
And you
a
wondered if
jar.
you could. Can I? Yes, hello. Could you make my dream into reality, please? Oh, we can't actually, sir. In plastic would be good.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In the
a man-
future, you'd be able to download your dreams and then just like act them out again, probably in the year 2000 or something.
Soothsayer.
No, there's some museum somewhere
Yeah.
that's got this little fella who was born without a brain, and he's in a jar, and it's just that he's got a really round head.
Right.
And when I saw this picture, I thought, God, it just reminded me of this little fella in
Yeah.
a jar.
Hold on, what do you mean he's born without a brain?
He was born without a brain.
So it's a baby?
He's not a little fella.
Yeah, but it's working.
Do you know the difference? Do you have conversations with, like, people in prams thinking, that fella's little, and he doesn't talk much?
Yeah.
You know babies aren't, like, little people.
Well, maybe...
Well, they are little people, but I mean, they're not very small adults. They're not like midgets.
They don't do a job of work, is what we're saying.
Yeah, you're very, no. What do you
I
mean?
didn't read about it, I just saw the picture. And
This
it
is
looked
where
like
you're
a
going
man.
wrong, Carl. This is always your mistake. You see the picture, you don't read the little caption.
But what do you mean? How do you think-
guess at what you think the meaning
But how
is.
did you know it didn't have a brain?
He said something like the brainless man.
Yeah, but people say that about you. It doesn't mean you haven't got a spinal cord.
I bet somebody's seen it and knows what I mean. It's a famous picture. It's
Right,
like-
call in 08700 800 1234. Once again, you win a prize if you can tell us what Carl is talking about. Just in general. It's an ongoing competition. We're trying to find some CDs to anyone who knows what Carl is talking about. Stereophonics, Vegas, 2 times. Well, we've had calls confirming that there was indeed, a fetus, or a stillborn child.
A pickled baby.
A pickled baby. No wonder it died. Born without a brain. But everyone has, you know, pointed out that it wasn't a little fella.
It certainly wasn't a little fella.
No.
But because it had been in the jar for a long time, I think it had aged a bit.
What are you basing that on?
You do carry on growing, yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Well, your ears and your nose.
Your ears and your nose. And your eyes don't grow, so,
Yeah.
you could probably, yeah.
I'll dig it out for you.
Yeah.
Imagine if, like, there was an experiment where they were raising a child just based on the information that we said on the radio. What kind of a person
It was like
would they
download,
be?
yeah, yeah. And it
What kind of
just,
information would they
and
have?
it took everything literally.
Exactly.
And I think, yeah, there's no irony or, yeah, it was just.
They just, everything we said they assumed was fact. Everything that Carl said.
And
they
any
assumed was
question it had about the world, it could only ask Carl.
Exactly.
And it would
See,
be
now,
his-
this worries me because without wishing to be disrespectful in any way, Carl, you know I think you're the best man on earth. When you have a child, we could be in a situation a bit like that. Do you know, is it a concern for you, do you think, that, like, when your son's growing up, or your daughter, and they're asking you questions, you're conscious, I mean, you yourself have admitted that
I'd just say-
you have a sphere of knowledge which you are an expert on.
Ask your mother.
You'd say ask your mother.
That's good.
That's great, fair enough.
That's good.
And I'd play with it. I think I'd be a good dad.
Yeah, I think you would.
But I wouldn't be the one who's shouting at it.
No.
I'd
Who would
just
you
let-
get to shout
I'd
at?
let
But Windsor Davis. He'd be good, wouldn't he? You horrible little man!
Well, you know, I'd tell it the rights and wrong. You don't have to be a really bright person to know the rights and wrong in the world.
Yeah.
No, I think you are bright, Carl.
You are. And at what point in their life would you tell them about the evolution of the baguette? Which you told us.
Or
one
the
week.
story of the bee.
Yes.
That you scored once.
Or the
didn't
2
you?
children. Would you ever get them to meet as maybe like that? They could be godparents. The friends you had at school.
Yeah,
with webbed hands.
the big heads and
Big
webbed
heads.
They
hands.
weren't my friends.
That weren't friends.
I wish we could track them down.
Oh, that'd be great.
I imagine they're in a zoo. Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 big
That's Safari
jars.
Park, yeah.
2 big jars. Industrial strength jars. Oh, dear.
Man.
Clocks from The Coldplay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and back, Carl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. That's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3
Carl?
weeks.
About
About
3
3
weeks,
weeks, yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down, but it's different when you know, you get paid anyway whether you turn up or not. But good to have you back. Good to
I'm
have
never
you.
off ill.
No,
That's the
good-
first time I've
No,
ever
I
been
just-
off ill. Like,
Well, no, I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just
a
wish
week.
I was the kind of person who could let down an audience
I know,
of regular
really, yeah.
listeners.
yeah, but like I say,
Well, no, we spoke to you. You weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and you know, you don't go home for a cold. Okay, then, so moving on. What have we got then? We've got some
Wasn't
great
cold,
songs.
though.
I've brought in the Smiths. I've brought in Buzz Cox. I've brought in Neil Young. I know Steve's got some hip hop.
Some great hip-hop.
I've got
Hooray!
some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Carl, come on, concentrate. You've been away for 3
it's
weeks.
just annoys. No, stop saying that.
What?
Because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh,
that
what
what
you
you
do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah,
I got a bit of a
wedgies
headache.
and I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Carl.
right? He called me up, winding me up about this, and right, I'm 30, right? I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times,
Oh, his memory's going as well. You have some time off.
and both of them were when I was at school.
School? What's
one-
school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Carl, that lasted
No,
for
no,
7
wait.
years.
Yeah.
Your time
wait,
off at
wait,
school.
Wait. Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy, or was it windy outside?
No, it was like when
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
when the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, "Oh,
What? Whoa. What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
well, my mum just said, you might get blown into the road, so don't do that."
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
Oh, God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then.
You still what?
Wag it, sort of not go in,
Right.
right? And they sort of tried to make it interesting for you by giving you a
education.
certificate if you did a full week.
Reward for the rest of your life with achievement. That sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday,
Right.
if you'd done a full week and that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday, and I got up and it was all windy.
It's
My
always
mum
windy
said,
for Friday on the 7th, isn't it?
don't, if you don't want, don't go in, because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, all right, then I'll stay off. And
So why did she told you to hold on to a fence or
Yeah.
walk you there? What's this? Don't go out. if you
Immediately
get
give
blown-
up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a
right,
long time.
today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in, you didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today, but you're not.
Brilliant. Serves you right, and
I wasn't bothered though. It was great, because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was
Brilliant.
great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was,
But that wasn't even ill, that was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit different when you're
To be honest with
adult
you-
world though, Carl. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late.
Yeah.
Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Carl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Okay, now, Carl, you going to cheer up now? Email only, Ricky Gervais at virgin.co.net. Radio 1 Roadshow. Smiley Miley.
Smiley mileage game. If anyone remembers that, I mean, here's a man, right, whose job, Smiley Miley was not a DJ, lest we forget. Smiley Miley was the guy that organised the vans that carried the equipment to and from the roadshows. Because he was such a crazy personality.
Because he smiled a little bit.
Exactly.
He got recognition, Carl. Longevity, lots of money, and lives where he wants to live. The town that he wants to live in. Why don't you just enjoy the town that you've chosen to live in, because it's so good? London. What towns have you been to? Have you travelled at all?
I've been about a bit, yeah.
Right, okay, then what towns did you like? Okay, forget Manchester, that's safe, you like Manchester. Right, I'll do the big
stop
three.
shouting.
London, New York, Paris. Okay, you don't like London, even though you live here, got flats here. Good, excellent, that makes sense. Have you been to New York?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's an amazing city,
Didn't
isn't it?
like it. It's just noisy, it's smelly.
Right, it's the city that never sleeps.
Well, I'm not surprised with all the racket and that.
Paris, the city of love, the most romantic city in the world.
Not really. I remember seeing an old woman in McDonald's in there, and it put me off. That's where that thing happened, where the
What?
old woman was.
What did you say? Tell us.
We talked about it before. The old woman in McDonald's.
Yeah,
Well,
what happened?
She was sat in the corner there with her legs open, no knickers on. All right.
Oh God!
That's Paris.
Did that put you off your cheeseburger?
Next city. Where next?
Have you been to, I don't know, the most beautiful city, Venice?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
It's good?
No.
Why?
Because they sell it to you as if it is a romantic city.
Where did you see it sold?
No, I saw it on when I was growing up. Right, remember 3-2-1 with Ted Rogers?
Yeah, of course,
Right, it
and
used to
Dusty
be one of
Bin.
the star prizes on there.
Right.
And they'd say, "Let's show you the video. Let's see what you're going to. Let's see where you're going to be loving
Yeah.
it for a couple of weeks." And they'd show you this scene
Yeah.
of like the gondolas
Yeah.
and all the city lit up at night,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a man and woman sat on a boat loving
Yeah.
it and stuff.
Yeah.
I went there, bin bags everywhere.
Play a record!
Yeah, it's a mess.
Play a record!
It's London,
That is
flooded.
Wish You Were Here with Carl Pilkington.
All right.
It's London flooded.
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Stop on XFM. Carl's back. He's cheering up a little bit because I think he's vented his spleen a little bit on cities around the world that aren't as good as Manchester. So, is there any of your family left in Manchester? Because they all moved away, didn't they? You came here. Your dad's moved to Wales, for Christ's sake. Well, your family are all around the... Brother joined the army to get anywhere. Just take me anywhere.
We don't know where he is.
His sister's moved away, so no
Ireland.
one... Yeah, there you go, you see? So, that's just one family. That's one family who love Manchester.
Exactly.
Alright? Now, Carl, we're going to do another edition, I think, of Wish You Were Here, because that really cheered you up, didn't it?
Tom.
Where else you been? Where else you been? Have you been, you've been around Europe, haven't you? You've been to any hot country? You've been to Greece?
Greece.
Turkey?
Done Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
Been to Turkey. Little fellas. Little midgets working in the canteen in the hotel I was in.
Okay.
Astley Suzanne as well.
Okay. Have you been to Scotland?
Once for the Edinburgh Festival.
Go on.
That's where I looked out in my hotel room, saw a traffic warden putting a ticket on some bin bags.
Brilliant.
Because they'd gone into the road.
So that's Turkey, Scotland. What about places here? Have you been to the West Country where we?
Have you been to my neck of the woods, Bristol?
I haven't been out. What else is around there?
Bath.
Been to Bath. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you make of it?
Once you've been, well, they don't need to go again because it's sort of old and they don't change anything.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
That'll be
So
the
once you've
Roman
been-
spa he's talking about,
Like-
I think. What about Brighton?
Not gay people.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Next week on Wish You Were Here, we'll go to some other places where there are gay people.
Fascinating. And
Brilliant.
Another extraordinary insight there. You have more money than sense.
Have we-
220
I'll
quid.
tell you what. Have we got monkey news today? We
We've
might
got
not. We might not get to it, mate. We are running out of time.
No, we're doing it.
What do you mean we're doing it? It's
The show isn't complete without it. I'd rather drop adverts and stuff.
well, I'd rather drop adverts.
No, we're doing monkey news. Do you want it?
Rick, my concern is that if you put Monkey News on the subs bench, it's going to be like David Beckham.
Yeah.
He can have his eye wandering to other radio stations.
Yeah. And look what he's doing.
Yeah, he's
He
off
might
to
be
Real
leaving
Madrid.
after Real Madrid. I might take monkey news off to Radio 2 or something.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
don't believe in monkey news. on
I
the bench.
imagine if they're listening now, they're probably going to call you and go, Carl, were you serious about bringing monkey news to Radio 2? Because the check's open.
Well, do you want a bit now, or what we're doing?
Well, no, I wanted you to tell Steve about your holiday.
Okay, so Monkey News, please.
Alright then.
Let's hear the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. Now, before
and again.
Go on.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Brilliant.
Right?
Right, before I went away, I told you about Alfred. He was the monkey where there was a robbery going on in a bank.
And then he nicked the robber's loot and backed out with a gun.
Yeah,
He sort of
everybody-
stole, he robbed the robber, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he take his gun as well?
He
Did he
took the weapons, he took all the weapons, there was like a couple of robbers. He managed, because they were so amazed that a monkey was coming in, it was like...
Don't talk shite twice.
Right?
Anyway.
So anyway, got a follow-up to that.
Okay, now what was that monkey's name?
Alfred.
That was Alfred.
So anyway, because a lot of people wanted to know, well, you know, what did he do? Did he go off and have a holiday? Did he, no. Right, so the follow-up is, what happened is, the monkey had the guns, had the cash, which was $250,000,
Sure.
right? It went back to the zoo, right?
Right, Carl, you're talking shit.
Ricky, I get angry with you when you won't let him finish his Monkey News.
Right.
Can't we just get out the official
Imagine
thing?
if people were interrupting Trevor McDonald. It wouldn't happen.
I want to make sure I don't get anything wrong.
No, of course not.
No, so
yeah.
check the internet.
So, the monkey goes back to the zoo, right, where all the zookeepers come out and go, get him, he's got the guns.
Yeah.
He hands out a couple of guns to his mates,
What? His monkey mates?
his monkey mates, so they've all got a couple of guns each.
Oh, Carl, Steve, I can't, mate. I cannot
Just shut
stand
up,
it.
let me-
Honestly, I want to scream.
Please, I really get annoyed with you.
They tried to do him a deal. They said, how about if...
I'm going. Tell him that. I'm not going. No, I can't.
Step out for a moment.
Okay, we'll just do it.
Look, don't listen, step out and I'll paraphrase what I hear for you when you come back in. Step out now, please. I need to hear the end of this. This is monkey news. This is important stuff.
Right.
Right. Ricky now has left the room. He cannot bear to hear, which is surprising to me.
Right. So anyway, so yeah, they've got the money, and they say to the zookeepers, "How about we give you some cash?"
Yes.
And they go,
Sorry. Hang on. Sorry. The zookeeper said that to the monkeys.
"Yeah."
Right.
No, the monkeys who have got the £250,000
Right.
say to the zookeepers, "We'll sort you some money out if you let us go."
Sorry. The monkeys say to the zookeepers, "We'll give you some money."
Yeah.
You don't see any problem with that?
Right, listen.
Okay.
It's nearly finished.
Right, I'm listening out there. This is ridiculous.
Go.
What do you mean the monkeys say? What do you mean the monkeys say to the zookeeper?
They were probably holding the money out, like, kind of going, "Look, you know, we'll do your deal."
Right. Okay. Come on.
And what happened is, I think they were happy with that. I think they left, and that was that. They wanted to get out of the zoo because they didn't like it in there. There's the thing.
Right, I don't...
Just have a look.
Right, Carl, think. Right, how did they get out in the first place, this one?
Just let Steve have a...
So why did he go... So he went and robbed... He thought... what, he knew there was going to be a robbery that day, did he?
He might have been getting some money before they went to escape, and then that happened, and they had more money. They might have been withdrawing some stuff out.
What do you mean? No.
If he was planning on leaving the zoo, he's going to get his savings.
What are you talking about?
What have you read there, Steve?
I've got a feeling this is a review of one of the Planet of the Apes films. I think it's Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I'm not certain. It could be Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Right, I mean, Carl, think, please think, right? So this monkey, right, he leaves the zoo, right? So he leaves the zoo, which he can do, presumably what, they leave him the keys or what? They're chatting to him, they might as well. He goes to a bank, what's he thinking of doing? Sees a robbery, probably by chance. He probably wasn't tipped off, was he? Or has he got one of those police scanners? Probably got one of those police scanners.
Well, I think he was going to the bank to get a mortgage to build a slightly. I think he wanted an extension, didn't he, on his cage?
Think of that. And so I love the fact that he hands out the guns and they do a deal. It's honestly, you've got the best mind working on radio today. It's incredible.
The only person who makes less sense is Terry Wogan.
Oh, I don't know. He goes up and down, doesn't he? I can't understand his sentences, because I don't know...
No, it's like freeform poetry.
Yes, I don't know whether it's the end of a sentence, in the middle,
Sure.
a new one.
Yeah.
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 But
Let's have the jingle again, a record, and then we'll probably have to wrap up the show, I imagine.
that was... Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. I wanted to play a Cat Stevens song, but I thought I'd better not, because I've, you know... play that a little bit, and we quite like resurrecting old reputations, don't we? People like Elton John who had bad faces, or David Bowie.
People
and,
whose names now are largely laughed at in the serious rock
or people
circles.
that people might not have considered. I thought Cat Stevens. Oh no, Rod Stewart. I thought.
Was he Rod Stewart? Many people now are thinking of the leopard hot pants and the ludicrous
Do you
hair.
think
They're
I'm
thinking
sexy and all those sort of awful stadium sort of disco things? But he wrote beautiful tracks from Maggie May and I thought, hold on, two birds with one stone. What about a Rod Stewart song? Written by Cat Stevens.
Wow. Is there such a thing?
The first cut is the deepest.
Let's hear it, Rick.
On this album as well is The Killing of George. Georgie Part 1 and 2, remember? About the gay bloke. Georgie Boy was gay, I guess. His favourite song. Carl's favourite song.
Yeah.
Right? And I was going, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. I said about, and I said, did not intend to take his life, he just pushed it when he gets mugged and killed. Do you know what he said?
Go on.
I was sitting outside, I was singing, he went, well, as I said, they go out too late.
They go out too late?
He meant gay people go out too late. He went, no, they do. I went, what do you mean? He said, well, they're always out, they go out when people are coming home. He said, if he'd have been in bed by 10, he'd still be alive today.
That's a sobering lesson,
And he went,
Carl.
there's one that works here and he's shattered every Monday.
Oh, if you're gay and you're listening, just be in bed earlier. Go
Yeah.
out when sensible people go out.
Yeah.
You're right, we're not on the continent, Carl, is your point?
If you're gay and you're not in bed by 10, go home.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
First cut is the deepest, Rod Stewart.
Song for the night.
Again, I really...
Well, I think, is there any way we can get this song before the end of the show and play it? Because I've heard it recently. A lot of people listening will have never heard this song. They wouldn't have any idea what we're talking
Can I
about.
say what you said when we were talking about that song once before?
Is it bad?
It might be. Because we were talking about, you know, Georgie Boy, and he, you know, got it. I don't know.
What?
It's when you said...
Well, it's a fact. I don't think if.
Well, he said, so it's from King of Georgia, he gets out, dies, right? He goes, well, they do go out late.
I know.
All gay people
I
go
know
out
a few
late.
gay people, and they start to party late on. That's
Yeah.
what, in Soho, right?
Yeah.
Girlfriend got in a cab, right? Suzanne was in a cab, and the cab driver was taking her to an early start, right? She works at the BBC. Early start, 4 in the morning. It was going down, it was mental in Soho at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
They were all still, like, starting the night out.
How do you know
Whereas-
how do you know they're gay?
It's Soho, innit?
Fair enough. Play a track. I'd love to be able to try and dig this out.
Yeah, we will. This is Simon and Garfunkel, The Only Living Boy in New York. It's lovely.
Listen, we're doing Songs of Phrase today, because Rockbusters has gone.
What songs of phrase again? I can't remember. I tried to. I
Yes.
think I've blanked it out.
Yeah.
When we do, something that's been said a few times on the show,
Right.
right?
It's been said a few times. Quack! I'm scared of Andrew Phillips. Quack!
I'm not scared of him.
on it. Quack! Go on. Sorry, you were speaking, Carl.
So we take a phrase from the show, right, and just get songs, like the words from the songs, edit them together so
Something
it says
like-
that phrase. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, just go on. Go on. Sorry. Go on, Carl. Come on.
So are we doing it?
Sorry. So what's the phrase you've come up with?
The phrase is no more cheeky freak of the week.
No more cheeky freak of the week. Is there not? We're not having that anymore.
Well, no, because it's offensive, and if we're worried about offending people, to talk about people with disabilities,
Well, yeah,
like,
but that's
like
what
conjoined
annoys me.
twins and women who are born with like deformed legs,
was
and you call
never-
them dog woman.
It
So
wasn't- it
you
wasn't-
know, you've got to be careful. You've already insulted Christ. Let's not do disability. Let's do songs of phrase, shall
Cheeky
we?
freak of the week was never out to offend anyone.
No.
It was to make you
No, I swear,
realise
we
how
don't
lucky.
try and offend people. We try and entertain them.
Right, do you know the funny thing is? Right, you're saying about, being cruel about people and stuff. It goes on all the time. On the news the other night, do you know those Siamese twins that didn't make it through the operation?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And this is why I'm stopping it, because I don't want people to think we're having a go at disabled people and stuff. Right? On the news, right,
Yes.
before that operation, the doctors said, we're going to try and sort this out. All the doctors are going to get their heads together. Is that a good phrase to
Right,
use?
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Carl, play a record.
No, I'm
Play a
just...
record.
Are you offended, Rick? Are you? Oh, you've offended Rick. You're ready.
You're the one that's. That's
Yeah, but I'm saying, we're not out to offend anyone, yet it's always going on. People are always having a go.
entertain. Please don't bring it down. Play a record.
No, I hate him. I hate him.
Darkness. Growing on me.
You love the darkness, don't you?
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see him. They were doing a
I
little
like the album
HMV
as well.
thing. Is it
People
good?
have told me it's a bit too jokey or
Yeah.
a bit too tongue in cheek, but it isn't really. If you don't know that, it sounds great. It just sounds like sort of retro 70s rock. It's it's great. I think it's brilliant.
It's nice to have rock back. I think you'll agree.
Big time.
Yeah. High five, man. High five.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sweet, mate, sweet. Songs of Phrase. It's the mighty return of Songs of Phrase. No one has requested that. It's not due to public approval.
A lot of people have requested some swearing.
They have indeed. But,
We had a lot of emails for that. But go on, Carl.
and remind us again what exactly Songs of Phrase is and why we should care.
It's just a phrase that we take from the show, make up by taking words out of a song, edited it together. Right? The phrase that we're doing is no more cheeky freak of the week.
No more cheeky
It
freak.
sounds like this. Right, so
No, that's nigh on impossible.
Play
you
again.
got to
Play again. I
email
didn't hear
in.
that.
You got to email in with all the songs that you can hear there. Right, I think there's 5 songs.
And we
in
just want
total.
the names of the songs?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
All right.
Do we just hear it again?
All right.
Yeah,
It is good. It's probably one of the best you've done. It's very tricky, though. I mean...
That's not too tricky. Play it again.
How many have you got, do you think, Rick? Just...
Well, I've noticed the same person singing twice.
Is that right,
In a
Carl?
band and solo.
Yeah.
And I know one
I
track
think-
straight away from the word.
Can I just say, I do think naming the songs is a bit tricky. Let's just name the artists. Is that all right?
What's the artist?
Just the artists, just change the rules slightly.
Yeah.
Before we play it again, just let you know what the prizes are. We've got on DVD Later with Jules Holland Louder. Lots of the alternative acts he's had on there. A DVD, there, a couple of DVDs.
With
Rollins
Boogie
on
Woogie
there.
piano over the top.
Let's hope so.
Brilliant. I can't
Jason Mary
wait.
Chain are on there, Stereophonics. We've got Sonic Youth, Ash, Hole, Queens of the Stone Age, Foo Fighters, quite good. Once again, Cruise of the Gods on DVD, starring Rob Brydon and Steve Steve Coogan. That was on at Christmas. It's not bad.
It's not the same one. They haven't been sending that back. We've been giving out different ones each
We
week.
have indeed. This is an album just called quite simply I Love You, and you'll be pleased because there's the likes of Mel C, Cliff Richard and the Hollies on there.
Brilliant.
Excellent. The best chill-out album ever. We've got the Beach Boys on there, Elvis Costello, Pink Floyd, Coldplay. That's not bad. And this is the one that's most interesting, I think, the American Song Poem Anthology. I've not heard it yet, but apparently, I think what it is an anthology of recordings that were made apparently in, I think, maybe 50s or 60s America. There was a particular organisation, you could send in songs or lyrics that you'd written at home, and they would set it to music and record it for you. And this is a compilation of them. So obviously there's some quite idiosyncratic and odd little things on there. I think it's probably worth a listen. So not bad prizes at all, Carl. Let's play it again.
Well, we started that going.
Just the artists then. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Once more, Carl.
See, we're just great.
Yeah, not bad at all. A little bit of Elbow. Nice to hear them again. This is the one Red. XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais.
Sure.
Elbow and Red. Good tune.
The old Spanish archer, right?
Yeah, Elbow. Oh, sorry, you've lost me. I wasn't listening.
Elbow.
Right. Sony award-winning from Ricky Gervais.
Well, we're not allowed to do anything.
Sure, a bit
Andrew likes those sort of things.
Rick, I can tell you now that the answers to songs of phrase are quite literally dribbling in. I think there's two, maybe three answers so far. So very excited about that.
So, who's the winner?
Answers. Well, let's give us the answers first.
Right, well,
This was
how it sounded.
It's not Rockbusters. I'm calling it Rockbusters because
It's all weird.
they're all interchangeable at the moment.
Right, Paul McCartney, Cheeky Girls, Sugar Babes, Space and Beatles.
Okay. Brilliant. You've really, I mean, if you're not interested in it, Carl, seriously, mate. Anyway, we're going to give the prizes, which were pretty good this week, to James Waters from Colchester. Well done to him, he's got them pretty much right.
Right, okay, Carl. That's ridiculous. 3 amazing scientific facts, one of which is spurious. Okay? Okay, 1. Girls can't throw because the part of their brain that allow men to throw properly in a girl is used up in emotion. 2. Gravity isn't instantaneous, it works at the speed of light. The force of gravity. 3. Statistically, you're more likely to be trampled by a donkey than dying in a plane crash.
Now, even though the last one sounds daft, I think I've read that about the donkey thing.
Okay.
So, girls... What's the first one?
Girls can't throw properly because the part of the brain that allow men to throw is used up in emotion in a woman. Gravity isn't instantaneous, it works at the speed of light. So when you drop something, the force kicks in at the speed of light.
What do you reckon, Steve?
Well, it's not for me to say.
Is this a trick one where none of them are ridiculous? Or
No, one of those three. One of those three is not true.
Right, well, it's definitely not the donkey, right? So, I reckon the girl one, throwing stuff.
Is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well done.
Correct. Well done.
Very well done indeed.
Yeah.
Very well done indeed.
That's 2 out of 2 he's got so far.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll teach you some stuff now, right?
I've always been fascinated by the donkey fact, because it is an extraordinary fact that more people are killed apparently by donkeys
Yeah.
than they are by airplane crashes.
Well, I suppose in countries where they're used and used a lot, that they go a bit mad and squash it.
But my concern is that when you go on a plane, there's so many checks. I mean, it takes them 40 minutes to go through all the checks: the air pressure, the cabin pressure, the fuel, checking the flights, the takeoff, all the rest of it. Our checks for donkeys.
Nothing.
Did someone close the gate? I think so.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
our
Is he
donkey
annoyed?
checks.
Is he annoyed or not? You're not working him too hard, are you? Yeah, yeah. He's got his hand. Is there two holes for the ears? Yes.
Well, I think that's what's happening. I don't think it's accident. I think they're picking us off. I think they're so annoyed that a nickname for them is ass.
Yeah.
And they've got to wear the little hat. You know, they've got to ride kids. Give kids rides on the beach. And I think they're just sort of annoyed.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sort of just picking us off one by one.
Yeah.
Teaching us a lesson.
If we had the same stringent checks on donkeys as we do on international flights, maybe there'd be a little less death.
Exactly. Wise words.
Cheers.
Wise, if slightly incoherent words.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is only gone and written it down, the little...
That's the jingle for Carl's diary, excerpts of which we read each week. Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Where do you come from? Okie dokie. It's a terrible place that we don't know whether to put our left leg in or our right leg in. Sometimes we shake it all about.
No, we're not sure if we should.
But, Conga! Fucking hell, you're such a...
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? A little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground? Not like a mole. Do you mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here? What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, oh, come round see us, and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He wanted to be in the army but was turned away, and that's the closest thing you can sort of...
How is that similar to living in the army?
Oh, that's exactly like the army, yeah, where they teach you trades and, engineering and flying.
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
What's he got down there?
Just stuff, just like a sleeping bag, a lamp.
He's dug himself a subterranean cave.
Near my old infant school, they knocked it down because it was like a wreck. You'd be in the class and you could lean on the wall.
Yeah,
and your hand would go through it and stuff. And they knocked it all down, and I think that's when he was at his most happy, this bloke.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me. Whether the tales I've heard of horses in houses and big-headed kids with webbed hands and feet, and him, I believe that someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That isn't bizarre to me.
You spent far too long with him if that now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do when your budgie died?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole is not that bizarre. Right, carry on.
I read me science magazine. Some things I learnt from the science magazine. Number 1, space is running out of space. We should stay out of the sea 'cause shark attacks are up.
Yeah, probably 4 a year now.
Well, he just says here, we should just stop going in the sea.
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Exactly.
Why is there no need for going in the sea?
Just 'cause there isn't now, is there? We've got loads of land. So just, one or the other. We walked out of the sea. Now, this is what I mean about going backwards. Getting back in it again. We came from the sea originally, now we're going back in it. Don't go in it. Unless you're in a boat.
The rules, according to Carl Pilkington.
The rules of Carl Pilkington.
Oh, God.
Did the podcast and then went for a walk round Manchester Square. Years ago, a woman lived round there who had a head like a pig. She was known as the Pig Woman of Manchester Square. That made me think if there were other pig-headed women knocking about London.
Do you know what I mean? Why was she nicknamed that? Why not just the pig-headed woman? That suggests to me like there was loads of pig-headed women, and that's the one of Manchester Square.
Right.
Well, no, it was more to do with identifying her, not amongst other pig-headed women, but go, have you seen the pig woman of Manchester Square? I.e., go down there and see the pig woman, it's in Manchester Square.
What happens if she's walked off from there, though, and you go, well, no, but I saw one on New Cavendish Street.
No, well, she'll always come back if you rattle the feed.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled. I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. I mean, it is hard to concentrate. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just gonna sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What is the point of that? I mean, it's possible, but why do that in a cinema? Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody? Let's all do the conga.
Well, yeah, or during ballet. I mean, ballet, they're just dancing. You don't need to listen to the words. Just have a conversation. We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof, then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there's bees. They love a drink, and they will drink pure alcohol. They drink 100%. They drink ethanol. I don't know why. They love getting off it, and they fall down and they're drunk, right? A bee can take in the equivalent of 20 litres of wine, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage as human addiction, like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that, and then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed, and they've got guard bees, and they go, come on, we've all had a drink.
Bouncers.
Yeah. They sort of are, right? And they push them away, and they push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough. And they give it a good hiding. And Carl couldn't get over this. I saw his face, but I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling round his head, a little bit belligerent with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
And the bouncer going, come on, son, we've all had enough. Let's move away,
Yeah.
move away.
You're not coming in, right? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it.
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because they don't know.
Fly.
Well, no, but if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that no one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells them you're not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, oh, what are we doing? Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying
There's nothing to do with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses its nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot.
Dubs, there goes the fear. We got a crack on here. XFM 104.9. We've got to get in Rockbusters and a couple more tracks. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Carl, go for it. This is Rockbusters, the last ever Rockbusters.
Right, yeah, it's a accents special one today. I've done it before in the past using accents, so
yeah.
3 cryptic clues, initials, email in. You can win.
Do the email address now, so they can take it down and start going.
Right, Ricky.Gervais @xfm.co.uk, right?
Yeah.
Right, first one. The northern lad remembers he had to tell his mum's daughter something.
Oh, dearie me.
The northern lad remembers he had to tell his mum's daughter something. That's O, the initial O there. Think of a band.
Yeah, I've got it
the
already,
initial,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, that's easy. Go on, next.
Second one. The person from Birmingham got a C in their degree. Right, the person from Birmingham got a C in their degree. The initial there is T.
You don't get A, B or C with your degree.
Well, that's... And the final one, the Cockney fella isn't happy. Everything's going wrong. That's DH. The initials there, DH. So very quickly, the northern lad remembers he had to tell his mum's daughter something.
God, they're not going to get the second one.
O. Second one, the person from Birmingham got a C in their degree. Initial T. And the last one, the Cockney fella isn't happy. Everything's going wrong. DH. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk and win some stuff.
Is it important that they bear in mind the accents? Does the will the accent help them?
Of course it will, yeah.
Well, of course it will. Not necessarily, course.
Yeah. So
Right,
do that.
Right,
we
the
can,
Valentine's special, Letter to Hermione, one of the greatest love songs ever, and you've got a couple of minutes. Please
do you know
email
the funny
her.
thing is, we haven't even done monkey news. Well,
Yeah. So has anyone got any right, Carl? Can
Well,
we-
what we'll have to
just
do
as
is-
well, we haven't got any prizes to give away anyway, because we gave them away our next month.
Yeah,
Have we?
we're coming through now. Let's see. Just hang on a minute.
Well, this isn't radio. You can't just sit here looking at a computer screen going, hold on, that isn't radio.
Right. Well, it'll have to be the one who got the closest, right?
Okay, who got the closest? What are the answers?
Give us them again.
Right. The northern lad remembers he had to tell his mates, his mum's daughter something.
I'm so glad this is the last one ever. This is the last, I promise it's the last Rockbuster ever.
The northern lad remembers he had to tell his mum's daughter something. That was O.
Yeah, I know that.
What was it?
Oasis.
Oasis. Right. Yeah. So that was a
I
northern
like that one,
lad.
that works. That works, though. Go on, what's the next one? This is what this one worries me. Go on.
The person from Birmingham got a C in their degree.
No idea.
That was T.
Go on.
Toto. 2-2.
A C as well. Just made it up. A C. 2-2. I love it. I love Toto. Well,
Toto.
right, no, did anyone get
Toto.
that?
Yeah.
You
someone-
are
I just saw
joking.
it on an email.
Right,
someone
come on.
got that.
What was the
Right,
last
okay.
one? That's extraordinary.
Last one. The Cockney fella isn't happy. Everything is going wrong. Going back in time a bit. The initials DH.
Going back in time a bit.
Yeah, that for the song. It's not a sort of.
Oh,
modern
right, I
song.
remember. I thought I didn't hear that first time round.
Cockney fella isn't happy. Everything's going wrong. The initials were DH.
Yeah.
That was Dan Hill. Dan Hill. Right. Dan Hill. Nobody got that one. That's a tricky one. But Steve, do you want to pick someone who got a couple?
I mean, I imagine Dan Hill was on everyone's lips. I mean,
I'm sorry, I think I know about music, but I don't know who Dan Hill is.
Sometimes when we touch.
Yeah, honestly, it's too much. It's
Doesn't ring
an
any bells with me.
awful ballad from about 1973.
Yeah.
Right? No one would get Dan Hill. Did anyone get Dan Hill?
Well, I don't know. Steve, you are just.
I'm not gonna check, I can't be bothered. I just want to celebrate that it's over. I'm just pleased that we're finished with Rockbusters.
What?
Right.
Did anyone get it?
Hang on a minute. I've got to
put that one
check.
back. I want to hear that answer again. What? Carl, leave the mouse alone and let me find that one.
Right.
That is someone's contempt for you. They've put Oasis, fair enough. Second one, Travis, they've just gone. Third one, Oliver Hardy. They don't care. That's how much contempt people have for you.
Carl, okay, we've got to sort this out. We didn't meet again this week, and this is a shoddy show. I thought we had a sort of framework for it, but, do you know what I mean? No, I thought, Carl could sort of tell him what was going on. He doesn't know anything except watching telly. Late night telly on strange channels, like he gets all his information about the news on Anna Nova, and, I mean, I even tried to help because, Monkey News last week was awful.
It wasn't Monkey News.
It wasn't Monkey News, it was, I can't remember it.
I've been away on holiday.
Brilliant. Yeah, and the Monkey News stops. I phoned him up. There was a front cover of the, I think it was the Telegraph one day this week, and it was an ironic story. It was a fluff piece, but it was a funny story. It was about a monkey in a zoo that had a ruck with its father because it's adolescent. It was like the equivalent of like 16 to 18, and it had a fight with its father, and it escaped. It ran away, and it was like, you know, an interesting story.
Yeah.
I phoned Carl up and said, "This is Monkey News. A monkey has escaped from its cage after an argument with its father." And he said, "What was the argument about?" I mean, he thinks like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
What was the argument about? Like the zookeepers are going, "Oh look, oh no, he's brought up his untidy room again." The father, "Oh look, he's caught him smoking again." I mean, what do you mean, what was the argument about? They have fights. They have fights and then it ran away.
His dad wanted him to go to college, but he just wants to quit and get a job.
Yeah, and he fancied a monkey in the other cage, and the father was saying, "She's not good enough for you." Oh.
So
what
we've got
was
some
it
Monkey
about?
News today?
Yeah, I got a little bit of Monkey
You got a little
News
bit of
there.
Monkey News, right? You've redeemed yourself
alright.
then this week.
We've got some stuff there and that. What else has been going on? You were, what are we going to talk about now? Sort of head's gone now.
Your
Yeah,
head's
we got
gone.
Monkey News.
Yeah.
And,
Why is your why is it it seems like since we've come back on air, you have become dimmer. I mean, it is extraordinary. It's like BSC has kicked in.
Or
and
did
you
we
really
just
are.
forget? We just forgot
Maybe
what-
it's been a long time. We've forgotten just how stupid he is.
Yeah.
It's proper. Do you mean it's the silences? You know,
Yeah.
he forgets we're on the radio. There's just
I know,
dead air.
it's unbunbelievable, and it's our name on this,
know.
they put up but as I said before, you know, he is, no offence, he's not a bright lad or educated or anything like that, but some things he says does border on the retarded.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay,
don't-
that'll be
I don't
that.
know.
I've been trying to take in too much information though, that's the problem recently.
Well, I said to you last week, I've been, like, reading more books and what have you, and trying to take in too much, but the problem is, like, even watching telly and that now, Suzanne said to me, you know, stop doing that, stop watching telly late at night and going to bed, because it's making your brain too active. And I'm sort of...
Heaven forbid.
And, you know, I'm trying to get to sleep, and I can't, and then when I wake up, she had a go at me the other day, right? Because it was the night after watching The Fat Baby, right? Woke up in the morning, and, she had a go at me, because as soon as I woke up, I said, something like, how can you freeze time? And she says, are you going to say good morning or whatever?
I'm gonna burst! Just imagine it, right? It's like the sun comes up through the window. Oh, she's Carl's like that, this little head. His eyes open, he goes, one of those floppy night hats. How can you freeze time? Oh, God!
But it's because, like, whatever, the night before I might have heard that on the news or whatever, and it's just been sort of whizzing round my head.
Sure.
And, you know, it was a big debate. I think have they found a way of doing it or something?
What are you talking about?
They've done something about freezing time and all that.
See, this isn't information, this is nothing. That is nothing, that. They've done something about freezing time. Imagine Jeremy Paxman coming on, going, well, the issues tonight said something about freezing time. It's, think before you talk. Stir it up. Bob Marley on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
Wait, did you get up today and just see the great weather and think, do you know what, I'd love to hear some Stir It Up from Bob Marley?
Yeah, I did actually. Well, I was going to play it the week before last, before I went away, and we didn't have time. So,
Well, we were crammed full of features like this one.
Have we got a cheeky freak of the week?
Do you want one?
Yeah.
I think we should have a jingle for this.
Okay, I've got a jingle. It's very similar to Chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee that?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. Oh, cheeky freak of the week.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I think that's excellent. So, cheeky freak of the week. You've spotted a freak this week?
This is where somewhat, I think, offensively, you pick on someone who's not like other people and say it's your favourite freak of that week. Yeah, I remember we had the woman whose legs looked like the hind legs of a dog. We've had the little fella with the ageing disease with the little head playing the piano. That was your favourite. I think that's your probably freak of the year, isn't it?
It's a pretty good one.
So what's this? Is it a man with a horrendous injury, or is it a congenital birth defect, or what?
Yeah, but you put it like that, and now it sounds like I'm being tight. It sounds like I'm being out of order. But I'm just giving him a mention.
Just giving him a big shout out.
Right. There's quite a lot going on in the freak world.
There always is.
You've been visiting hospitals the last week, have you, when we were away?
No, there was a thing on a website. This isn't even the one that I've picked, so...
So this is just a bonus?
This is a bonus freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
This is a free freak, right? It's a fella called the Lobster Man.
The Lobster Man, of course.
Again, good name, you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Right?
What are you gonna get? Some succulent meat.
I like the idea that the vicar on the christening suggested that. I know you want to call him Mark. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Look at his hands.
What's his name? Mark Michael Webster. Right. Right. Yeah.
Have you thought about a nickname?
Not really, no. Have you looked
at his hands?
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that because
do you know they look a little bit like lobsters?
Well, yeah, but it's quite deformed. It's like, you know, we
Can I suggest Lobster Man?
That's terrible, Vicar. That is terrible, Vicar.
Pinchy.
Go on then. We're gonna see. This is what the sort of feature you come up with, Carl.
So, Lobster Man.
There's probably people listening now with, you know, lobster feet.
Right.
Lobster hands.
So,
Squid Boy.
So, Lobster Man, what does Lobster Man do? Does he fight crime?
Not that much.
Okay.
Apparently he got into a bit of trouble. He was in a restaurant, and this was years ago, by the way.
And someone picked him to eat him.
No, so apparently the waiter said, "Oh, you shouldn't be sat here. You should be in my pan," or something.
Oh dear.
And they had a fight, got out of hand.
Yeah.
Got out of claw.
And yeah. So that was.
What do you mean they had a fight? What did he do? A waiter took the mickey out of someone with
No.
Now, can I just make clear? I'm assuming it's his hands look a bit like those of a lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fused, so it's just like two big fingers. They're
Right.
fused, I assume, probably in the womb, and they're just like, instead of like having
Yeah,
5
yeah,
digits, they're fused, and it. But he can pick stuff up, can't he?
Yeah.
What does he pick up? He mainly eats crabs and jellyfish, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So he was having a fight with the waiter. He snipped off his nose.
Right, so anyway,
He just held on to the waiter's bib.
Yeah,
and the
exactly,
waiter was
yeah.
screaming, "Go and get him off me."
Yeah.
So anyway,
Does he eat other lobsters? Does he think he would eat lobster? Or is it kind of... would he feel bad about eating lobster?
Right.
the little cheek of the freak that we've gone for anyway.
The what?
The little freak of the week,
Yeah.
cheeky freak of the week. We've gone for this Siamese lad,
Okay.
right? Happened back in.
You can't have a Siamese lad, can you?
All right, yeah. This Siamese twins happened back in 1693.
Oh, he's got a date. Blimey, that's the first time ever.
Yeah. And all it was, he was doing all right for himself. He used to go on like those circus things he used to do.
They're two people you're talking about, Carl. So we're going to him.
All right then. All right.
They?
They did this circus show, right?
Yeah.
And everything's going well. They're selling out the tents and stuff. People coming to see them.
Yeah.
He was doing all right for himself,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry, before I said that, did you think a Siamese twin was a man with 2 heads?
Well, it can be, can't it? It depends. There is a
There's 2
man-
people, they're conjoined.
No, but it depends, doesn't it? The one that I shown you in that book that time was a fellow with 2 heads.
No, it wasn't. That was a stupid picture in one of your stupid books that he had a growth that looked a little bit like it had a face on it. It wasn't a man with 2 heads. You're the same sort of people who send potato chips to restaurants and say, "Doesn't it look like Norman Cook?"
Yeah.
It's not 2 heads.
We'll bin this feature.
No!
No, it's
It's,
just...
they're 2 people. They're 2 people. Conjoined twins. Right, so these...
They just happen to have a similar taste in clothes. Okay.
Anyway, so they were doing all right, and it all went wrong when he crossed the road, got run over. The lad with 2 heads got run over. That's it.
What? How is that cheeky freak of the week?
Just because it got my interest, and I kind of thought, why didn't he just look both ways?
I'm intrigued to know how you...
wasn't he looking both ways?
I'm intrigued to know how you get run over. What was it, 1629?
Yeah. Well, it's horses and that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, why wasn't he looking both ways? Carl Pilkington, you are a genius. Play a record, you fool.
Well done, Carl. More cheeky freak of the week next week.
See what's going on.
In the freak world.